Welcome back to Midlife Awakening. I'm your host, and my name is Z. Let me start with a question. If you opened your phone right now and scrolled through your contacts, how many people there could you honestly call at 2 a.m. with your biggest fears, your messiest mistakes, or your wildest dreams? Most of us have plenty of people to laugh with, to grab coffee with, or to trade small talk with, but very few who really know us. And as the years go by, those surface level friendships start to feel empty. At some point in life, especially in midlife, you realize you don't need more friends. You need deeper ones. Proverbs 27:17 tells us, as iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. I love that verse. It's not about comfort or convenience. It's about friction, effort, even sparks. When two pieces of iron sharpen each other, there's pressure, there's noise, but the end result is strength, precision, beauty, and purpose. That's what real friendship looks like. Friendship that sharpens you will sometimes challenge you, not just cheer you on. It will call you out lovingly when you're drifting, remind you of who you are in Christ when you've forgotten, and celebrate your victories as if they were their own. Surface friendships might fill your calendar, but they rarely sharpen your soul. Deep connection takes time, honesty, and intentionality. But without it, we risk isolation, discouragement, and blind spots we can't see on our own. And here's why this matters so much. The quality of your friendships will quietly determine the direction of your life. The people closest to you will either pull you forward toward growth or slowly hold you back in cycles of negativity, fear, or complacency. Even research supports this. Studies show that deep, authentic relationships are one of the strongest predictors of long-term happiness, health, and emotional resilience. But as believers, we know there's something even more powerful at stake, our spiritual health. Because your walk with God is strengthened when you're surrounded by people who pray for you, speak life over you, and keep you anchored in truth when storms come. Life is too hard to walk through with shallow connections. You need people who sharpens you, because dull friendships lead to a dull life. So what does that kind of iron sharpening friendship look like? Let's talk about three qualities that define it. First, they offer counsel, not just comfort. An iron sharpening friend doesn't just tell you what you want to hear, they tell you what you need to hear. They love you enough to speak truth, even when it stings. They'll say, like, hey, I notice you've been pulling away from church lately. What's going on? Or, I know this opportunity looks great, but have you prayed about it first? They don't shame you. They shepherd you back to wisdom, back to faith, back to God's heart. Second, they practice mutual vulnerability. This isn't a one-way street. It's not just about you sharing your struggles. It's both of you being real about life, faith, and growth. These are the conversations where you can say, I'm struggling to believe right now, or I messed up and I need prayer. And instead of judgment, you find grace and understanding. That's how you build trust, the kind that can withstand storms, because vulnerability isn't weakness, it's the birthplace of authentic connection. And third, they hold you accountable with love. An iron sharpening friend doesn't just nod politely at your goals, they remember them, they check in, they push you forward, not to control you, but because they care about your calling. They remind you that your purpose matters to God, and they'll keep you aligned when distractions or discouragement try to pull you off course. But here's the challenge: you can't just sit around and wait for deep friendships to appear. You have to cultivate them. And that often means you have to go first. Instead of staying at surface level, take a small risk. Share something real, a fear, a hope, a prayer request. That's often the moment when conversations move from casual to transformational. Then be intentional about where you connect. Deep conversations rarely happen in crowded or noisy places. Sometimes it's a quiet walk, a long drive, a cup of coffee without the phone in hand, or even a late night call that opens the heart. And finally, commit to consistency. Depth takes time, trust takes repetition. Keep showing up, keep listening, keep choosing to stay, even when life gets messy or busy. Because true friendship, the kind that sharpens you, requires faithfulness. The beautiful truth is this: your purpose doesn't just grow in solitude, it's refined in community. Even Jesus surrounded himself with close friends, the disciples, and among them, he had an inner circle: Peter, James, and John. If the Son of God himself modeled deep friendship, how much more do we need it? So don't settle for lonely success or isolated struggles. Seek out the people who are willing to get close enough to see your flaws and love you anyway. Those are the friendships that will sharpen you, refine you, and prepare you for the life God is calling you to live. As we wrap up, let me leave you with two reflection questions for this week. Who is one friend you can be more intentional with? Someone you can move beyond the surface with? And what is one goal or struggle you can share with a trusted friend, inviting them into your journey of accountability and growth? Thank you for joining me today on Midlife Awakening. If this episode resonated with you, please follow, share, or leave a review. It helps others find this space and reminds them they're not alone on the journey toward deeper, faith-filled living. Until next time, remember, iron sharpens iron, and you were never meant to do life alone.